5, Jeep Gladiator Myths. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and that's right. Today I wanted to get on and talk about 5 Jeep Gladiator myths. Things that people think about the Jeep Gladiator, or things that are floating around out there on the web that are not true. Number 1, the Jeep Gladiator is really just a Jeep JL with a bed on the back. It couldn't be further from the truth. You know, they didn't just take a Jeep JL and slap a bed on the back. Everything from the rear seats back was designed specifically for the new Jeep Gladiator. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't share a lot of the same features as the Jeep JL, because it certainly does. I would argue that if you blindfolded a person and put them in the front seat of the Jeep JL, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between it and the Jeep Gladiator. But everything from the rear seats back was redesigned or designed specifically for the Jeep Gladiator. Number 2, you can drive it through anything. You know, I've done a couple videos about this recently, and that's simply not true. And not just the Jeep Gladiator, any Jeep for that matter. You know, maybe in the old days when they didn't have all the electronics and stuff in them, you could do that. But as some people have found out, like the guy who tried to drive through a mud puddle, a deep mud puddle, you can't do that anymore. They're just too sophisticated now. They have too many electronics and stuff in them. You can't do it anymore. Number 3, you can just whip the top and the doors off all by yourself. That is certainly not true. Now, I will say, if you just have the soft top, it is a little bit easier. You know, that you can just kind of fold things back. They've really done a great job in enabling someone to do that by themselves. But if you've got a hardtop Jeep Gladiator, there's no way you can do it for yourself unless you're, I don't know, 6'8" and made of muscle. Because that top, it's not just heavy, it's awkward. You have to balance it when you're taking it off, right? The last thing you want to do is drop that top and shatter that rear glass window, right? I know, we've done it. My buddy Randall was over here with his Jeep Gladiator Mojave for a little soundproofing experience, and we took it off. No way can you do it by yourself. It was awkward with just the two of us. The doors, you know, a lot of people talk about taking the doors off and going full air, right? You have to have tools, and then you've got to put them somewhere. I mean, what are you going to do? Pull those doors off and just throw them in the bed of the truck? Let them bounce around all over the place and get all scratched up on your $50,000, $60,000 Jeep Gladiator? You're not going to do that. Not as simple as they make it sound. I know in a lot of the commercials, they show them, you know, with everything off, out cruising around, everything looks fun. It's not quite that easy in real life. Number 4, it rides like a Jeep. You know, and that implies that it's somehow rough, that you bounce all over the place and it's not comfortable and it's just a misery to ride in. That's simply not true. I would say it rivals some, granted low end, luxury cars out there today. It's nice and smooth, it's comfortable, the seats are comfortable, the cushioned ride, we're not gonna beat you around all over the place. I know, I spent 38 hours in my Jeep Gladiator. Granted, it was broken up, 19 apiece, but still, nice and smooth and comfy. It doesn't ride like the Jeeps of old. Matter of fact, it doesn't even ride like my wife's Jeep Wrangler back here, which rides like a lumber wagon. Partially our fault because we changed the wheels and tires and lifted it, but still, definitely a much better ride than people give it credit for. Number 5. You can make it quiet. You know, it is a Jeep. To its core, it's a Jeep, right? Now, there are things you can do to deaden or dampen the sound a little bit. You know, I mentioned my buddy Randall was over here, and we put some sound deadening in it, and it cut it back. It made it a little bit quieter, but by no means is it going to be like a luxury vehicle. You're not going to hear anything, right? It is a Jeep. The panels are going to move around. It's going to rattle. It's going to make some noises. You're going to hear the wind buffeting everything as you're driving. If you happen to have the soft top, you're going to hear those panels kind of bouncing against the roll bar. It's just the way it is. It's a Jeep. I love how some people complain about it. And it's like, what did you think you were getting, right? I mean, it's going to be a little bit louder. It's just the way it is. Anyway, there are 5 myths that I just wanted to go over real quick. Things that I find are kind of funny that people are either saying or expecting about the Jeep that simply aren't true. Leave a comment, let me know. If you've got yourself a Jeep Gladiator, did you believe any of these things? Were you surprised to find out that they're not true? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I have 2 other channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive Civic, all about my adventures with the Honda Civic Sport and the Honda Civic Type R. Have a look. If you liked them, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.